Welcome to the Excelsior Health Podcast. This is the podcast for busy professionals and busy parents who are looking to lose body fat while building strength and ultimately transform their health. What we do, guys, on this podcast, we take the complicated, confusing aspects of fitness and nutrition and we break it down to simple strategies and tactics so that way you guys can get real results. I'm your host, Coach Cory Fernandez, and today, guys, we have one of my favorite type of episodes. It's a transformation interview, right? So I have one of my long-lasting students, my girl, Diana, but we say Miss Jara. So welcome to the podcast, my girl. How
Thanks,
you feeling?
Cory. Good. Thank you for having me.
So before we get into all the good stuff, we're going to go a lot of different places. Tell everybody just a little bit about yourself. Who are you? Background, good stuff.
So my name is Diana, aka Ms. Jara.
Alter ego.
Alter ego. I've been with TFW for about 6 years now, and I'm a mother of 3 beautiful children who started off in this world as premature babies. I think my biggest baby was 2.5 pounds,
Damn.
and my lightest was about under a pound, fit into my husband's hand. I'm a wife. I'm a professional. I work in the condominium industry. And that's little old me.
Talk about your career though a bit. Like you do a lot, girl.
Yes.
Teaching, like
So I do training and development, but I also am a property manager that oversees condominiums. I also lead a team of 8 people, and I've been with the company for about 25 years. So I grew up with them, right? Very similar to the environment here, small little business, and never looked back, never found a need to, just was treated well. I worked with everybody well. Been a lot of changes over the years with the condo industry, but, working the grind and making it happen.
I know, I see you every day. So like, for example, Ms. Jara's, she's one of our ideal people. We always promote that we can help almost everybody because a lot of what we talk about really does make an impact in people's lives. But we can really help a specific type of person. And for us, it's busy professionals, it's busy parents. Typically, they're in their late 30s, 40s, 50s, and they're looking to lose fat, and they're looking to do it while building strength. And Ms. Jara is an amazing example of that. So today, we're going to kind of go just the behind the scenes of her journey. And it's a very inspiring journey that you guys are going to learn some great lessons from. So let's start with going back, rewind, past the 6 years, maybe even past a decade. Talk to us a little bit about your health and fitness and like what got you to finally join this program.
Quite honestly, I don't really think there was a fitness world in my little bubble. You do the normal things, you try out different things. I went to different places, different fitness clubs to try, but never really other than elementary school and high school, doing track and field or gymnastics or whatever. Beyond that, there was never a path, so to speak, right? Until probably I got into my adult years and figured, you know what? I'm lean, I'm mean, I'm a muscle machine. I don't need this, right? Because I knew it all. Everybody knows it all at that age, right? But then, you hit a time in your life where you decide to get married, you decide to have children. And we were hit probably with the first situation where we didn't know if our children were going to make it. Like I said earlier, my oldest son was born under a pound.
Wow.
3 months premature. My second was 3 months premature, a little over 2 pounds. And then my baby girl was the sickest of the 3. So she's got a learning and a hearing disability. But if you saw them now, you would have never guessed the struggles that they went through. So it put a toll on both Craig and I, and you struggle internally because you're focusing on your 3 kids to make them, as strong as they can be. Meanwhile, you have, the doctor saying the book says this and they're going to suffer that. And so, well, let me tell you, they're not going to suffer that. So you have to be their advocate. And that took a lot, years of believing in that they can make it and they're with whatever that comes their way. And we're going to tell the doctors and the teachers otherwise. Right. So it was hard. It was hard on our relationship because we were very focused on the kids. So I guess it was so much easier to grab that bag of almonds, sit on the couch, eat it, And I swear our version of probably fitness was walking up the stairs to grab a pop, right? And going, yes, I walked.
Yeah.
When in reality, we were killing ourselves, right? All the while thinking that at the same time we're helping our children. So it was tough, right?
I mean, just to stay on that point for a second, like just a constant theme that I hear with a lot of the people is like there was some sort of tragic, difficult time that we're going through, but a lot of time is like our kids, man.
Yeah.
Our family. Like it's like you go through these things that there's a reason why maybe you're not prioritizing your fitness or your health. But that's part of what we try to teach in this program is like those things are going to happen. It's now, can we educate you to have the mindset and also the tools to get out of those situations quicker.
Right.
You know, so it's just, when I hear your story, I've just heard that so many times. It's like people like, yeah, it's hard to be active and eat healthy when you're dealing with the health of your kids.
Right.
So even if you go back to that time, like, what were you going through? Like having a kid that's under a pound, like.
Honestly, day to day, it was almost robotic, right? Because they were born 3 months premature, I had to pump my milk and go down to the hospital, drop off my milk so that the kids could get fed with a tube. I couldn't touch them for 3 months.
Oh my gosh.
So it was like, we called it their little condos, and every day was a new struggle, whether they stopped breathing and turned blue. So now we were worried about brain damage, or they did something incredible where they lifted their heads. No child at 3 months premature should lift their heads, but that was, wow, is this where we're going? Is this now the success that we're going to see moving forward, right? So because the focus became that, I think Craig and I, lost ourselves a little bit because we were focused on our kids. It was a natural thing to do. So, coming back home and him asking, how are you doing? It was like almost offensive because how do you think I'm doing? And I wouldn't dare ask him because I knew how he was doing, right? And it was it was sad. I was angry. And part of me was also resentful because at a very young age, I said I would never get married. I would never have kids because I saw my parents and, through their experiences, like, hell, no, God, I'm never going to do this. And then when I finally made the decision, it was like, this is what God gave me.
Yeah.
But looking back, I think it was a challenge mentally, physically, that we survived it at the end. And so did the kids, right? But
during this time, like, and this is like, how long would you say this time period was of like getting the kids into a certain place that's now like a little bit more routine? Did you work during this time?
Yeah, that was the other thing that I felt was, I think, a life savior, because if I had to go down there every day and stare at them, talk to the doctor, stare at the walls at the same time, I think I would have gone insane more than I already did. Right. So it was like the backup, the cure at the time. Let's dive into our work. And if we don't have to talk about it, then we're okay.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So that even mentally takes a bigger toll because now you're not talking about it. You're constantly looking at the bad things that could potentially happen to the kids at that particular time. Right.
Yeah.
So we were lost, I think, is the best way to describe it. Right.
Well, I guess what the other part of, I guess, your attention was just career.
Yes.
Right. Putting your time and effort to there.
Yep.
So like a lot of people, like those are like the two big areas of our life is we get so consumed with growing our family, growing our house, paying a mortgage, doing all the financial things, but also our career. Like, are we moving up in our career that oftentimes our health and fitness gets put on the back burner?
Right.
So for you, when was that breaking point? Like what age, like how long ago was it where you said enough is enough? Like I got to do something with my health and fitness. I can't just keep neglecting this.
I think the breaking point was 2019, where I was about 5 years in remission. So back in 2013-14, I was diagnosed with breast cancer at the same time my mom was diagnosed with thyroid cancer. Wow. So it was like, we just got over this and now we're dealing with this. So I went through that. And in 2019, a friend of mine, because my office is literally a hop, skip, jumping away, she came over, had an interview with you, walked over and said, oh my God, it's awesome, blah, blah. And I looked at her and I was like, no, I can't do this. Like, are you serious? I just finished my chemo treatments. I'm in remission. I just want to enjoy this time, right? Failing to realize I was at 152 pounds. I think I was a size 14 at the time. And I could barely walk up the stairs. I think that was the breaking point where it was like getting to the top of the stairs going, holy crap. Do you know what I mean? And that was it. That was the turnaround time where I said, okay, I think I texted you and I said, I think we need to meet.
Come check it out.
Yeah, my friend talks a lot about you. Let's see what you're all about type idea.
Okay, so before we go take into the step in the dojo, you just kind of glazed over the breast cancer.
Mm-hmm.
So taking care of your kids, getting reestablished, then breast cancer comes up. How was that? Like, how was navigating through that? Like, talk about that experience, because I guarantee you there's a lot of people listening to this that
Mhm.
they know somebody or they themselves have had similar challenges.
Right.
How did you navigate through that? And I guess how has even now making health and fitness a part of your life helped you deal with that
Mhm.
moving forward?
Even at the time, I thought I was, what's the word? Indestructible. The way I found out I had it, I was with one of my mentors on our way back from a meeting, and I was extremely itchy. And we have that type of relationship, myself and Luann, and I was like scratching on I went, oh, as I'm driving. And she's like, what's wrong? I go, nothing. It feels lumpy. So you don't think about it at the time. You're just like, oh, okay, whatever, get checked out. And it wasn't until I actually sat in that room listening to the oncologist say, you have breast cancer stage 1. I don't want you to worry about it because I'm going to cure you. And I'm looking at him through his soul saying, can you repeat what you just said? And he's like, you've got cancer. And I thought, okay, all right, what do we need to do? Let's do this. Like, give it to me at that point in time. And he wanted to set up the appointments, gradually have that discussion. I said, no, I need to know right now. What does this look like? Because I have kids at home,
Yeah.
right? Am I dying? Am I not dying? When he said he's going to cure me, I'm like, okay, I'm not going to die.
That's kind of cool that he said that, though.
Yeah, kind of cool.
Yeah.
And I thought, do I believe him or do I not?
Yeah,
Do I
yeah.
trust him or do I not? And the next hardest part was I had luscious, long black hair. And when my hair started falling off in the middle of a meeting, we had to rush out to go get my wig. So we were in the room, Craig was beside me, and the therapist started shaving my head.
Wow.
Craig had to leave.
You shaved it all
Yeah.
off? Wow.
He,
I've never seen you with black hair.
yeah, that's my real
Yeah,
hair
yeah.
color, and it wasn't curly.
Yeah.
So Craig walked out. When he came back in, I was like, I have an awesome bald head. It is so sexy. And he burst into tears. And I didn't realize, as much as I was enjoying the moment, he was having a moment because he'd never seen me like that before, right? So it was hard. I think that was the hardest time, is seeing him break down, because he is an emotional person. And I thought, okay, you know what? We've got this. We're going to do this. We're going to survive this. It's going to be literally day by day, but we have no choice. We have 3 kids at home, and my mother was going through her own treatments. So I kept working. I had the nurses come into one of my buildings to give me the injections. And I think that was the other pivotal moment, because I didn't realize the pain that I was going to be in. So at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, I'd be hugging the porcelain bowl.
Wow.
Like, literally, I couldn't control my spasms. I couldn't control the bone pain because of the chemo treatments, right? And at that point in time, you're suffering, but you're not giving up, because you can't.
Yeah.
You can't allow yourself to think other than you're going to survive this, whatever that looks like.
Yeah, but you say you can't, but like, I don't know. I think that speaks a little volumes to like the mindset that you have then. And that's fortunate that you did have that type of mindset then, but it's also the mindset that you have now is like, I got to take what I can in this situation and I got to make the best of it. And sometimes a lot of people don't do that.
Right.
Right? Like bad things happen, unfortunate happens, and sometimes people put the victim card. And in a situation like that, it's like everybody's kind of okay, understandably. It's like you can be a victim here, but you decided to have a positive outlook and do what you could in the situation. So from 2013 to 2019, you navigated through that situation through the help of the doctor.
Right. Yep.
And now you had a friend who was like, hey, I'm doing this program, I'm getting myself together. What was it like starting in a place like this? Talk to me about the journey and like, what are you most proud about from going from someone who was out of all wax, dealing with your kids, all the challenges there, dealing with cancer, and then now being overweight, out of shape, and then starting a fitness program?
It was daunting. Daunting and scary. As much as when we first met, I walked away going, oh boy, this isn't for me. And then my first session, walking through those doors, MK coming right at me. And I'm like, who is this woman and why is she touching me? And she gave me the biggest bear hug. And I thought I died a slow death at that point in time because I wasn't that person at that time. So anyway, fast forward the first training session. That evening, I was like, I got this. The next day, I couldn't move. I was like, oh my God, this is terrible. But part of me was, yes, it's terrible because it's your first time, fool.
Unknown, it's uncomfortable.
You went full force. And I think by the second week, you had a conversation alongside a couple of other coaches saying, it's okay. It's okay to slow down. It's okay not to go maximum level because you're not there yet. And I think that was so important to me because prior to that, I was left alone, right? I would go to a box gym and it's like, hello?
Figure it out by yourself.
Help me?
But and that's like when it comes to training, that's part of the coach in our program is sometimes you'll get someone who's very excited to go. And it's this tug of war of like, you want to challenge people and you want to push people, but sometimes we have to like just allow people to do a little bit. Right? And everybody's a little bit different because if someone does too much too quick, they're sore, they're injured, they can't sustain it. So anybody starting the journey, my personal recommendation is like 3 times a week is a really, really good place to start. And sometimes it's not even talking about nutrition, just like drink water, show up and move. And then that allows for things to be improved. Okay, now you're working out 3 days a week. All right, well, let's do some walks now. Now that we got our movement going, all right, let's add a little bit of protein. Let's like, that's the way that we like to coach in a place like this. All right, so keep going. Give me some more of like the journey. So that was the beginning, uncomfortable. What the hell am I doing? All these crazy, enthusiastic people in here. What are some of the like things that you're most proud about?
The consistency. I love it. Honestly, the fact that I've kept it up over the last 6 years, I don't think I've ever finished anything in my life prior to that. So to feel, and I'm not finished. I'm just saying it's been a great 6-year consistent journey, but also the fact that I'm not scared anymore, right? Even though whatever happened to me before, coming in here and having the support of the coaches, support of people that I've met and become good friends with and can talk about just about anything. It's not just fitness. It's not just walking in and talking about the sessions that we're about to do. It's everything.
It's life.
It's life where before I didn't have that, right? Whether I was scared or, because I grew up in a home where my dad was a lovely person, but it was always, you're not going to get married. You're going to concentrate on school. You're going to do this. You're going to do that. You're never going to be dependent on anybody. So fast forward to 6 years ago, I was still fixated on that, right? So I was a terrible person. I can honestly say that because of my anger. I was a horrible leader at work. Horrible, horrible, horrible. But I think coming here, and then learning what I did here and bringing it to my place of work, I can make people smile now. Whereas before, I think I made them cry. And they never came back from lunch. So I was like, now what did I do? It's not me, it's them, right? But no, in reality, it was me because I was terrible.
I mean, that speaks to the maturity and the growth of you is to be able to say, is like, yeah, you know what? I wasn't a good leader. A lot of people can't do that, is to look at the flaws. But it's smart that you've taken the things that you've learned here in your own journey, and now you're helping other people, right, within their career and their profession. One thing that I do want to say is, like, you've been here for 6 years, but I can honestly say every year of this journey, you've gotten better. And that's like the really cool thing about it. And one of our values that we have is Kaizen. It's not these dramatic big changes, it's these consistent improvements.
Right.
You know, like in year one, it's like, do I like training? Like, do I like working out? Then it's like, yeah, I like working out. I need to work out. Like, I don't want to be home during COVID. Like, I want to work out. And then I want to get results. And then it's like this year, it's like, I'm fucking getting a chin up. Like, I'm doing push-ups. Nobody's forcing me to do these. I'm doing them on my own.
Yeah.
And this has been, we said this on the other podcast, this has been the year of most consistency for you, you know? And this is part of the journey that I want everyone to understand. Even as a coach, we have ups and downs. Life throws different things at us. So what we're all trying to build with the strategies and the tactics of this podcast is just this consistent lifestyle. So you've done a fantastic job building that over the last 6 years. But like this year, it's been, I think, the most prevalent to me watching it and seeing you be that consistent. Right? So for you, what are some other things that you're proud about? Performance-wise, things that you've knocked out?
I've done 5 minutes of war twice. Honestly, that was a dream for the longest time because I've seen the coaches do it. I've seen a lot of the students do it. And I always thought, oh, I'm never going to get there. No one's ever going to ask me because I'm weak. But this year, I made a point of, you know, with the push-ups, you saw me every day practicing my push-ups and I was getting better at it. So when Carms was like, you're doing 5 minutes of war, I'm like, okay, but you know I'm not fast, but like, I've got this. I wasn't scared anymore. I wasn't like a nervous wreck and coming up with possible excuses of not doing it or whatever, right? So I'm super proud of that. And just, I don't know, it's hard to describe. The passion, I think, has always been there, but it's coming out more. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And I think it's part of the whole learning aspect and accepting myself that, you know, believing, don't think, just do, right? It's like, why are you overthinking this and coming up with different ways of not doing it type idea? If I'm training and I'm being mentored, then what's to stop me, right? Cool. I'm not going to be that athlete that goes and does 100 in a minute, as an example. That's
a hard thing to do.
It is, right? So, but if I could get a number that I have in my head, then you know what? That was awesome.
Own it.
Yeah.
Right? Be proud of it.
I'm finally able to say that as opposed to before. Ugh, I didn't get 50.
But I think the difference too is, like a line that when you're saying that is like, confidence comes from competence. Yeah. So it's like, yeah, in the beginning of the journey, like, you're not confident. Like, you don't know what you're doing. You're making a bunch of mistakes. You're uncomfortable. But with consistency comes repetition, which then comes skill. Once you develop skills in certain things, hey, I got more confidence.
Exactly.
And that's a big part of the journey is like, yeah, you know what? It takes time with health and fitness. So it's like now these last kind of 2 years, you're more in this stage where it's like, I want the test. Yeah. Like, yeah, I'm nervous. Yeah, I'm like a little bit scared, but I'm going to do it. And one of the mantras that we have, right, is train more, fear less. And it's like the more you put yourself in these uncomfortable situations, you can handle it, right? But then more importantly, which is I think, you know, of what you've experienced is the things you do within your training, it often helps you elsewhere. You know, when you're preparing for a presentation, when you have to have a difficult conversation, yeah, you do that. You practice that on a regular basis, right? So, any other things that we missed in terms of proud?
I think that's pretty much.
How would you say, well, fuck, I'm going to say some stuff. Like, you didn't mention like 40% body fat down to like 24, 25%. Yeah. So it's like your transformation has been amazing, even though you don't say it enough. But, you know, one thing that I would say is like, especially if it's the summertime, Miss Jara's walking around with like little shorts now, showing off the muscular legs and like the definition. But man, like, you got to be proud of yourself, girl. Like, I'm going to show you the pictures and the videos that I have, but it's like, you look like a more healthier, fitter, stronger woman now.
Yeah.
And that should be one thing that you're really, really proud about.
It's funny you say that because when I was preparing for this podcast, I made some notes and I said something along the lines of I walk with confidence. And I'm thinking, what does that mean? And I remember way back when I used to walk in here hunched over, face down, shoulders like curled over type idea. And now I walk with a strut. I'm like, I own this. But then when I get into the corner, it's like, okay, like I'm not there yet, but I'm starting. And it feels great. Like I now go to Lululemon and buy tank tops.
There you go.
Like before it was just like those oversized shirts and swimming in it. But now it's like, I'm comfortable in this, right?
What are the ways that like your health and fitness now is helping other areas of your life?
One of the things that I actually take from what I've learned here is I've used it with some of the people at work. At the very beginning of the year, a couple of the girls were going on trips and stuff like that. And they were asking questions, like they were going on Google and I'm like, let me help you. Bring me your goals. What would you like to do? And so it was nice having that conversation of, okay, you need to eat your protein.
Mm-hmm.
What does that look like in a day for you? You need to eat your veggies. You need to drink your water. So we were on this little journey together. And I was proud of myself because I was like, oh my God, I'm actually learning.
Yeah.
Like that was a check mark for me. But also, I kind of alluded this a little bit before where I was a horrible leader before.
Yeah.
It's made me a stronger leader now. Where
Like which way?
I'm a listener.
Gotcha.
Before it was like me or the highway. Because I was old school taught in this business, right? So it was very structured. There was no veering a different way. Well, we had to adapt ever since, when COVID hit, things happened to people.
Mm-hmm.
And as much as it was hard everywhere, I didn't adapt, right? So it took me a little bit of time to accept what everybody was going through and say, it's okay. You know what? I've got your back.
Yeah.
Let me take the punches. What I need you to do is X, Y, and Z. So now I'm more supportive. I'm a listener as opposed to before. And I'm like, honestly, I'm incredibly proud of myself there because I can see the progress and the success in my team.
Yeah.
They were quiet people before, wouldn't even dream of doing a presentation on their own. And now they own it.
Yep.
And you know what? A little part of me says, good for you.
Mm-hmm.
You did this. And to them, you did this.
Yeah.
Right? So it's huge.
One of my favorite quotes is, and I believe it a lot too, is everything rises and falls due to leadership.
Mm-hmm.
So a big part of like great companies is good leaders.
Yeah.
Bad companies is poor leadership. So it's really tough for us to look in the mirror sometimes and say, oh, man, the problem is me. Another thing that I found as just through learning, I read a book called Eat Smarter by Sean Stevenson. And one of the things that I learned is a lot of our like emotional reactions and like lack of consistency and outlashing on people, it's closely linked to our health.
Yeah.
It's like if I'm not exercising and I'm not moving regularly, I'm not expressing myself.
That's right.
It's like this anger's within. If I'm eating processed food, substance abuse, alcohol, I'm not sleeping, I'm more irritable.
Right.
So if I'm a leader and I'm not taking care of myself, the people that get it is my kids.
Yes.
Right? My husband, my wife. But then also, hey, if you're someone who's a manager, a leader, and you're working around people, they're going to get that. So there is a huge, huge correlation to taking care of your health, having outlets, right, of relieving stress that lead to being better leaders. So I love that you hit home on that because I think a lot of people, they see that change in themselves, whether it's the parenting side or it's like the career business kind of side too.
Yeah.
Another thing that you said that I really like is, you know what, I was like teaching people. And from my own experience, the more I taught, the better I understood things. Right? It's like I did them, but then I was forced to kind of communicate them a certain way.
Right.
It made me realize, okay, I really do know this stuff. I just got to keep doing them.
And it's the way you teach too, right? Before I was, like I said, it was me or the highway. Well, everybody learns differently. And I think I learned that more so with my daughter. She's a visual learner and she has a learning and a hearing disability. So for a while, listening to the teacher say this, that, and the other, and it's like, did it ever occur to you to just sketch it? And they're like, we have no time for that. I know you don't have any time for that, but maybe, just maybe, try it. And then all of a sudden, when we put her in tutoring classes for math as an example, we explain that to the tutor. And now it's like she enjoys math again. And it reminded me, everybody learns differently.
Yeah.
So I may have that, that deck in front of me that, okay, I have to cross-check these 10 things and execute them. And hopefully they grasp it. But did I ask? Did they grasp it?
Love
right?
it.
Before I didn't, now I do. And I think it's all part of that being a good listener or attempting to be a good one. Now, parenting, still working on it.
I think we all are.
Still working on that.
So let's shift gears. I want you to put on your leadership and your coaching hat a little bit. You've gotten some amazing results, some great transformation. There's somebody probably listening to this that's like, hey, I want to be in Diana's footsteps. Like I'm in an unhealthy category. I want to get into a healthy category as a woman. I want to be active a couple of days per week. We have our 5 pillars that we talk about a lot in this program. For you, we're going to start with each pillar and just give like a real tip that you execute and then would help somebody who's listening to this. So pillar number 1 in our 5 pillars of Excelsior Health is training and movement. So what's a tip for a busy professional that you believe in?
Work out the plan from the very beginning and at least do 3. Work out 3 times a week, but also put in that mobility, also put in that walk. It's not just about coming in and lifting hard-ass weights and then forgetting about, the basics. Yep. Right? Take your kids out for a walk. If you have a puppy, take your puppy out for a walk. Those are the best stress relievers alongside the training.
Love it. And that's the key. That's like the pillar is called movement and training. So the training is like what she's saying is like the 3 days a week is could you do some resistance training, some strength training, could be a little bit of cardio in there 3 days a week. But then the movement is like, hey man, can I play? Right? Whether it's just like, playing sports, shooting basketball, kicking the ball around, or one of the best things that you possibly can do is steps, walking, make that a part of your life. As busy professionals, we're sitting like this all the time. If we can dedicate that 30 to 45 minute intentional walk outside every day, makes a huge impact to our overall health from a physical standpoint, but also a mental standpoint as well. All right. So nutrition habits would be a good piece of advice.
Discover what whole foods mean. While I was having that little learning session with my girls at work, a little bit of no concept of wholesome foods. Yep. They thought it was so much easier to just go grab a salad at Fortino's and you crush it. Well, no. Learn what works for you. Yep. Just because I'm having, a piece of chicken doesn't mean that you necessarily like chicken. Yep. How about seafood? How about beef? Yep. Different things and different combinations of things. I think the best way to put it is learn to love your food. Yep. Right? Don't just arbitrarily go into the fridge and grab all kinds of different things and think you put it on your plate and you think this is it. Yeah. I've got it.
Or it's like this. I think a lot of times people come in as like, give me the piece of paper of what do I do? And it's like, there is no piece of paper, right? Like step 1 of the nutrition habits journey is like, what is real food? What is whole food? Can you look at food and say, you know what? I get nutritional value from that food.
That's right.
So for example, when it comes to protein, what would be like a couple go-to options for you?
Chicken, beef, any type of seafood, really.
Yep, seafood's great.
White fish, shrimp, love it.
Yep.
I don't really, I love food, so I will try different things in different ways. And I think that's what people need to learn, depending on your taste buds. Like if you really don't like something, you're not gonna like it. Yeah. So try something else.
Yeah, figure out what works.
My
recommendation is especially protein, because it's so important. Like Diana's 51?
52.
52 years old. As a woman in your 50s, you need to eat protein. Most women go years with under-consuming in protein, but as we get more mature later on, it's so, so important, especially to preserve muscle. And also the visual look of what we want, this athletic tone physique, you need protein for that, right? So know your 3 kind of go-to options that you
Right.
could prepare, you enjoy the taste, and that you can have it consistently, right?
Yeah.
So obviously other whole foods means fruits and vegetables, getting good carbs on the plate that you enjoy, that you can have. So definitely start with eating whole food versus just trying to deprive yourself from food, because you can only be on some like strict diet for so long. Eating real food is the long-term route of building and changing your body. What would be some recovery things that you've learned, rest and recovery wise?
For me, stretching is a huge thing. And believing that you can actually take a rest day and it's okay. Where I think there was a point in my journey where I thought 6 days was awesome,
Yeah.
right? I think 2 cardio and the rest strength. But it's okay. Allow your body to take that day to just recover. But it doesn't mean lying on the couch like a couch potato.
Yeah.
It still means movement. It's just you're not coming in and lifting the weights. You're doing something different.
Yeah.
Go to the spa if you can.
100%.
Or get your husband or your partner to rub your feet.
There you
That's
go.
my that's my go-to sometimes when, you're busy, you've had a hard day. It's like, let's talk, but you can rub my feet at the same time.
But that's the journey. Like,
Exactly.
I think people got to go through it to a certain point of, going from, okay, 3 days a week to 4. And I'm going to go, like, you got to go through it to learn, like, yeah, I don't need to do it that much.
Sure.
And it's also, that's not the thing that gets the results. It's the quality. So I was talking about this on a previous episode. I believe so much more than ever that like 4 days a week is just such a perfect amount where you push yourself at a high intensity, but where the magic always happens, it's when you're resting. It's when you're getting the good night's sleep. It's when you're getting the food. That's how your body comes back better and stronger. If you're constantly training, 6, 7 days a week and you're not getting good sleep and you're eating like shit, you're actually damaging yourself at the end of the day. So if you're in your late 30s, your 40s, and your 50s, 4 days a week is a really good place. Is there exceptions? Can you train 5 days? Yes, but there should be waves in the intensity.
Yeah.
Like for you, you probably have 3 higher intensity days, and then you have 2 days where, it's maybe a little bit less intense, or sometimes it's not being in a training session, it's a long ass hike.
Yeah.
It could be riding a bike, it could be doing yoga. Like there's other forms of movement to get.
That you could enjoy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. So that's a good thing. Stretching is another great thing. In our program, we do a lot of dynamic stretching to warm people up. We encourage it, but we just don't have as much time in the hour. But static stretching is a great thing to do at the end of a workout, calms down the nervous system and lets yourself know, okay, I'm done with the intense activity.
Right.
Right. Last 2, what would be something in terms of mindset, resilient mindset?
I think you have to have a positive mindset. And it's okay to accept, the negative that comes into your head every once in a while. But at some point, you got to take that deep breath, acknowledge whatever that negative is, and turn it into what potentially could be the freedom from that. I don't know how to describe it. I was thinking about that earlier on this week, comparing it to my own life, being negative, being a bad leader, being this, that, and the other. And I think I was over-consumed with my mind with the negative, right? So now it's like, and I've had to do this personally where you stay over here. And that could have meant, actually, it did mean a few people where I had to cut off. It's like, I can't be surrounded by you. I am now in a place in my life where I'm happy. And in order for me to continue that, I need to be alongside people that are doing more or less what I'm doing, that are concentrating on their life, trying to be happy, using different aspects of fitness or in their professional worlds in that positive, right? I think, and that took me a long time to learn. And I give kudos to my husband for teaching me that, because that bad leader before, because of him, that I came out and discovered a whole new way,
A version of
myself that is a lot better.
Yeah, 2 things I heard there from the mindset wise is, hey, we could choose to be negative or we can choose to have a positive outlook.
Right.
And one of the core values that you've won before is enthusiasm. Is like, enthusiasm is the start of everything. Like if
Right.
I'm going to make a difference in my life, I have to be passionate about it.
Yeah.
And it's just literally a filter on how we look at life is I'm going to choose to look at things on a brighter side, on a more positive side. So that's one way to develop a more resilient mindset, because when bad things happen, if you're not enthusiastic or if you don't find ways to be passionate, to see the good in the situation, it's tough to get out of it, right?
Yeah.
The other thing that you said was basically which goes into the fifth pillar, is the positive environment. So a huge part of transforming your health and being consistent, it's like the social aspect.
Yes.
It's who you spend time with, right? It's the relationships in our life. So for you, I'm happy that you said that, because if you're someone who's on this path of improvement and bettering yourself, especially with your health and fitness, you have to look to spend time with people that are also trying to do that. If you're the only person in your inner circle that like is trying to work out and eat healthier, it's going to be very, very difficult.
It's very hard, because it's those type of individuals that look at you like, why are you doing this? Let's just go out for a beer. Let's go have nachos. And it's great. I'm not saying eliminate those things, because I still go out and have a beer and a glass of wine with my husband and our friends and stuff like that. But it's not 7 days a week, because you're at that stage in your life that you want to do that.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that. It's like, I just don't. But I'll, once in a while, it's okay. Don't deprive yourself of that. But at some point, you got to stop and say, enough is enough. I've got to make that change, right? If you're consistently going on and on about the 5 different things that are happening to you, you're not going to move forward. You're not. I'm telling you that right now. You got to take an honest look at yourself and say, okay, what do I need to change for me? Right? Never mind who is there to help me. You're always going to have people to help you. Always. But it comes from you.
I don't know if you've ever heard me say this line before. I can't remember who I got it from, but to me, it's powerful. It's the expectations of your peer group will determine your life results. So if the people you spend like the most time with, if they expect you to be overweight and like their standard of you is to be like just average, or like that's kind of like what we do. But if like the people you spend time with is like, what do you mean you're missing your workout today? Like, what do you mean you're not going to be a good leader who shows that person respect and attention? What do you mean you're not going to do the extra for your kids? Those are the people you want to spend time with that make you better, where they have high expectations for you. And you're like, yeah, like, hold on. Yeah, that's the person I am. Right. So last 2 questions to end off. There's a lot of things that we talk about in this program. What's maybe one lesson for you that you've learned along the way that would share with anybody listening today?
It's not a short-term discovery or journey. It's literally a lifetime. So if you're looking for that quick fix, this isn't the place for you. But if you're looking for that journey that takes you from point A and then some, there is no point B, there is no point Z. It's then some. Because we're here for a long time. Right? We're not here for a very short time. Give yourself the chance. Give yourself the chance to experience that and allow yourself the chance, right? If I could say that to anybody, because there's a lot of people out there that have that mindset, it's like, guys, we all go through different stages of our life, good, bad, and ugly. But at some point, we got to own it and step up. And only you can do that. So ideally, when you look at yourself in the mirror, damn, you look good today. Because you've done it. You've done what was necessary to get you to say that. Right? I think that's huge. Huge, huge.
And even when you say that, I think about like the phases that people go through in their life, like fitness and health. It's like, it's not just this one part.
That's right.
Like you might discover your health and fitness and you're single, but then you get in a relationship. Health and fitness has to stay there, but it might change a little bit. Then you get married. Then you have kids, right? And then, hey, for a lot of us, as we mature, it's like, what about when we have grandkids?
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like fitness should be a staple part of your life that follows you with all those different phases. Your eating is going to have similar principles, but it might evolve. It might change. You might not be so adamant about fat loss. You might be more adamant about longevity. Right? Your training, you might be at a certain time where it's like intense like this, And then later on, it's not as intense. It's more maintenance. But like Ms. Jara is saying, is like, man, like your fitness and your health, it just has to be a staple part of your life. Last question. I always love to ask this question. It's like a good, just like a good one to get an insight on you. Is if you were to go back in some of those hardest points of your life, right? It could have been there where you're just watching your kids go through what they're going through. It could be, you know, even before that, just the dynamic with your parents. It could be going through cancer, right? What would be a piece of advice that you would give yourself to let you know, like, man, just keep going, man? What would be that advice you would give yourself?
It's okay to feel, because I think that's important. When you can feel what you're going through as opposed to ignoring it, that the tables will turn. And if I had told myself that at a very young age, I think a lot of what I've dealt with at that particular time would have changed things a little bit, as opposed to just going full throttle and ignoring it. Because I thought that was easier, right? But I think I even say that to my kids right now. It's like, I know it feels like the end of the world, so let it out. Why are you hiding from it?
Like face it,
Face it
confront
head
it,
on.
feel it.
Cry, scream, do whatever you need to do. I'm here for you. But once you do it, it's time to pick up your socks and get going.
Love it.
Yeah.
All right, girl. Well, we did it.
We did it. Whew.
All right, guys. So, hey, this is an amazing episode. Share this one out. As I always say, my favorite ones are doing our transformation interviews. If you are someone who's listening to this and you're like, you know what, I'm ready for my transformation. I want to be a part of this Training for Warrior Sauga community. Best thing to do, visit tfwsauga.com, book a free consultation, and we'll sit down with the team and we'll just get to know you, see if you're the right fit. Other words, thank you, Ms. Jara. I appreciate you.
Thank you for having
Just recently, you know, we talked. It's been 6 years. We're going to keep going. And I'm just super proud of you. You know, it's rare in the fitness industry that you have such close relationships for long periods of time. So I always try to do my best to express to everybody is like how grateful I am, because it's hard to keep good people, you know, and you're one of the good people that we really love and appreciate. So like you said on this podcast already, like, you're only getting better and you're not done yet. Like, let's build that, you know, that athlete that you feel confident at when you look in the mirror.
Yes.
All right, girl. So
thank you.
Share this out, guys. Coach Cory, my girl, Miss Jara, beastin'.